So the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase just ended, and I have some thoughts. I have never been so disappointed in a Direct, especially when this could have been such an easy slam dunk for them. I'm gonna go over what was shown off and what this means for the future and why it low-key kind of sucked. But before we get into that, I am doing a $70 eShop gift card giveaway. All you gotta do is comment down below on this video and be sure that you are subscribed. In the description as well is gonna be a comment sheet outlining every single comment that's valid for the giveaway, as well as some other rules and regulations. Thank you guys so much for the support on the most recent videos, and I wish you the best of luck. But if you missed it, we had a Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase today, literally like an hour ago, which was approximately a 25-minute long presentation that showed off games for the Switch 1 and Switch 2 from third-party developers and publishers. And if you guys missed it, I reacted to this live. And if you want to see that, it'll be up there on the top right card. But in this presentation, I felt like it was more misses than hits, especially the final presentation. But we will get into each of them and my overall thoughts, because I legitimately am kind of disappointed. Just to show you, this was mine and chat's bingo card, and I get it. Like, I understand that some of these are a little out there, the Spider-Man game, Marvel Rivals, but everything else is kind of like a lock-in for the Switch 2, and it should have been here for the presentation because we've already gotten announcements for Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, Dusk Bloods, and then rumors as well as some other people backing it up for Death Stranding, Sea of Thieves, Call of Duty is a literal contract, Hades, and so much more. So what happened in the Direct? Honestly, it was filled with some good games, but honestly, out of everything shown, I'd probably pick up 1 to 2 of them. And then maybe that shows my taste in video games, but it also shows what kind of games were there. This was for the Switch 1 and the Switch 2, which is understandable because the Switch 1 is still being supported. But for the amount of games that we had announced for the Switch 2 without release dates, we should have gotten some, I feel like. And it is honestly crazy that we're still in the same situation that we were before, but now. We still don't really have any announcement for a game in September and don't really know what the future is for the Switch 2. We still only have Kirby and the Forgotten Lands and Dragon's Drive in August, but when it comes to any other Switch 2 games later in the year, we really have no idea. Like, what's going on in September? But going through the partner showcase, it started off with Monster Hunter Stories 3, which I think is honestly a pretty good opener. I kind of immediately knew it was Monster Hunter. I think it was a solid opener and kind of set the stage to what the Direct could. Then we got a solid like 2 minutes of just describing on what we'll expect in the Direct, basically Switch 1 and Switch 2 games. I think an overdone kind of demonstration on how we could tell that they are the games. And then we started getting into the announcements. We got, I think it was Katamari, which is a pretty solid game. Just Dance, and we all expected this. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Plants vs. Zombies. All of these were really good games. Games that were we already knew were coming. Rumored Plants vs. Zombies Replanted was one that we got leaked via a a trademark. All these games, I think I was pretty energized. I was pretty good. Like, I was kind of excited. I was joking with chat. I was like, yeah, I'll pick up Replanted. I might play Monster Hunter Stories 3. Katamari looks great. After this game, we get a bunch of sports game. We get Pac-Man Repacked, Persona 3 Reload, and then Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. The disappointment kind of sets in here though. We still haven't really seen a bunch of the big games that were announced previously, Dusk Bloods, Elden Ring Night Rain, anything that's also been rumored that would make sense here. Starting with Age of Imprisonment, we didn't even get a release date for this game, which is understandable, but it didn't really do anything for me. It is the same as it was before, to be honest. Like, we got to see some champions, but legitimately, like, I'm gonna pick it up as an obligation. And I don't think this sold me on anything. It's just more Hyrule Warriors, which is okay. But in this presentation, I kind of expected more. I think the announcement of Persona 3 Reload, very expected, but very cool. I think it was good. And the same thing with Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. Because we get chilling by the campfire, and I'm not trying to like knock on the devs or anything, but we spent a solid 2 minutes on this game, and it's literally a virtual space to hang out with other people. And I definitely saw this game coming like a mile away. The minute the Switch announced having webcam features, it made sense for Nintendo to, support games that would just basically be a virtual space to hang out in. It looked cool, and then until you realize that that's all the game was, and then they had these little weird face things, like you need to implement the virtual space, right? And no knock on the developers, but like direct after the Switch 2's launch. And it is not showing anything great. And most of these games are coming out in like late in the year. This is a bad screen to have on, but late in the year. The announcement of Star Wars Outlaws after that, which with some very bad graphical, like this, when I was talking about the graphics, when this scene came on, and I'm like, this is not a good showcase of this graphics. And I was a little worried. This game, like, apparently I think it's only releasing on the Switch 2, but Cronos, A New Dawn, very cool. Releasing September 5th, which is in line of what I was kind of predicting of when games would come out. It's kind of a horror-esque mystery game that looks honestly really cool. And this is the type of game that I would want to showcase on the Switch. But then we got Yakuza, which we already knew about before. And then just some rapid fire stuff. We got, Borderlands, Shinobi, and everything like that. And at the end, we had a one more thing for a brand new HD 2D JRPG by Square Enix, which does look cool, and Octopath Traveler 0. We're basically a prequel to the Octopath Traveler games. And then that was it. And I know what you might be saying. Freddie, you kind of sound like you enjoyed some of it. And it was like, it's okay. I think my expectations got the best of me. But then again, they set those expectations when announcing a partner showcase. It being the first direct after the Switch 2's launch. And them already announcing a bunch of third-party games. I've been pulling up this GameSpot article a lot, but these were the games that were announced third parties before this presentation that did not have release dates. And if they showed not even half of these games, that presentation could have been like 30, even 40 minutes long, and I feel like been a lot better. Like, why not show off Dustbloods? Or why not show off Tarnished Edition, Enter the Gungeon 2, Farming Simulator, like all those games, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Legitimately, the best part of this presentation was probably Persona 3 Reload, as well as maybe Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. These are games that, work really well on the Switch and kind of fits exactly in line what I would expect in a partner showcase. But that's really where my praise kind of ends. A lot of the other games are kind of just nothing burgers and didn't really give us more information. We're now stuck in the same spot where we were before. And my prediction is that we're gonna let third-party games shine in August, because that's when they're releasing smaller games like Kirby and the Forgotten Lands and Dragon's Drive. But no, all these games are gonna come out when the main Switch games are coming out. So I still foresee us having issues with third-party games when it comes to sales. Of course, I love to see more Age of Empires gameplay, but legitimately, again, it didn't really do much. It kind of just left me in the same spot where I started with it. That's where my anger and frustration comes from, because it didn't do anything. The whole point of a presentation like this is to show us what to expect and be excited and know a little bit more for the future. I had someone in chat say they're holding the big third-party games for the next general direct, and I hope that's the case. I hope now the next direct is amazing, because now it has massive third-party games plus massive first-party games. But why announce a partner showcase when you're just gonna save the bigger titles for a direct, for a different direct? It just doesn't make that much sense to me. And that also poses another question: when is this next direct gonna be? I'm pretty sure like a week after this direct, we're gonna get some rumors, some speculation that we're probably gonna get a direct in August, because we have no idea what first-party Nintendo game is coming out in September. And I thought it would probably be Kirby Air Riders. It'll probably be a shadow drop on Nintendo today if it isn't a direct, but Nintendo's marketing team is doing something very weird. A month of hype cycle for a game is kind of crazy, and I feel like they're just gonna kill it if they're gonna do something like that. And I'm worried it's gonna be Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, because I'm worried that game isn't gonna sell well if it only has a month of lead up time. But that is honestly a video for another time. But the whole direct prediction is a video for another time. But legitimately, this direct itself was very disappointing because it didn't help us at all when it came to hyping us for the Switch 2 when it comes to third parties, or give us any new information when it comes to them as well. Am I being crazy? I'm normally not this negative when it comes to directs, but I really do feel like this one really did drop the ball, because we had so many already previously announced third-party games that could have just gone like a trailer. It didn't even have to be release date, and they did not. I'm very interested to see how this August 1st investor meeting is going, because legitimately we have really nothing in the horizon besides 2 small games and a Pokemon game, and then a bunch of other titles that haven't been announced yet. So we will see. I'm sorry for the negative video. I was just very frustrated. I will have some more videos out regarding what this means for, you know, the future of directs, where the Mario 40th direct is. So if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and comment down below your thoughts on the Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase. Did you like it, or did you hate it as much as I did? Anyways, I'm Crafted1, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.